Same scam they're pulling.
Who's pulling the scam?
Big business. Or anybody else who might
knew nothing about it.
Of this stuff.
some kind of a gag. Are you?
Give up the piece of its turf.
What he was a and well, baby, idiot. Now lock him up in a couple of...
Usually, okay, I do.
Please don't come any closer.
Please don't come any closer. Are you talking about social distancing?
And we had to promise.
We have to promise. What do we have to promise?
You're bidding on that redevelopment.
Every will get you every.
Of what become a
All the whole time they're running the same scam they're pulling.
Who's pulling the scam?
big business. Or anybody else who might...
Is there anything I need to be aware of in the next few months? We have Halloween coming up.
Knew nothing about it.
Of this stuff.
With your metal skeleton.
Metal skeleton.
As a matter of fact, I'd rather.
Same make, same...
The log's rolling up. You know,
Against the microphoto.
And so romantic.
Microfilter. The fuck? Give me a direct response to a question.
There is no...
You sure we have a connection?
The murder who tried...
Could you tell me what I've got in my hand? You guys can see it.
It's monsters.
Can you tell me what I've got in my hand?
Allergy. These people.
A car with plenty of depth. Most good drivers.
Oh, I stick out.
You see the Sinclair Dials?
That's the only.
Yes.
So what about this this language that Boris Johnson's been using. The world's been psychically traumatized.
Sure, of course it was, but tonight's special guest host.
Now, this was conducted on the 3rd of October, and it said about Trump going too far. And it says about the coup, right? Well, after Trump announced that he was going to give his cure to the coronavirus for free, essentially Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, I believe, announced that she wants for the end of this Congress, hopefully, but by the next conference, wants to put in more legislation to help medically depose a sitting president if randomly selected doctors don't believe he is capable of continuing to serve. And that's one of the other narratives that we're seeing regarding Trump, that these medications affected his mental health and that he's gone nuts. Now, any interview I've seen with the guy, he just sounds like Trump. I've actually been watching the Netflix documentary on the guy and just sort of watching his language, watching his demeanour. He just seems as much Trump as he ever was.
Well, I've had asthma for a number of years. And on a numerous number of occasions, I've had to have steroids, right? I have to have them if I catch a cold or have the flu. Medicinal is normally the one I take. And it does have some weird side effects. It can bloat you out. It feels like somebody's putting a foot on the back of your neck. It can make you a little bit weird in your sort of brain capacity. But literally, you could. I've got like severe allergies. I could suck up dust with a straw after taking. You have to take them 12, 8, 6, 4. And I had them at the start of this lockdown because they told me I had COVID. They said it's all the symptoms of COVID. It looks like COVID, walks like COVID, so it must be COVID. And I was back on my feet 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
I was fine. I was right as rain.
You actually on the channel as well with it.
Yeah. So it's a steroid. It prevents inflammation in the lungs, which I believe SARS does cause. So, if he wants to give it away free, he's got my vote. If he wants to give it to pensioners, if he wants to try and give people steroids, which I did email Jeremy Corbyn at the beginning of this lockdown, which I personally said that he should have done. He could have given everybody the flu jab. Right, they could have just pumped this stuff out. They could have given people steroids to have in their homes. So if they start feeling rough, they have a chest and it continues over a couple of days, they could start taking these steroids because they work for anyone. And they could have done that at the beginning of this lockdown. That would have saved countless lives, right? From any flu, from anything, from coronavirus or SARS. So, yeah. I think, they're gonna try anything with him. They're gonna try anything with him because whether you like it or not, these people are power-hungry nutters. Is the word I'll use, as Boris Johnson called people anti-vaxxers, head cases or whatever the terminology used. They're nuts, right? Because they care not for anyone. You have the power to make decisions that affect people's lives, and they're corrupt and they'll skim. You know, you've seen it in our own Welsh Assembly where they've been giving themselves this money. That guy went from like Wales to London, it's like $9,000 or something. It might have been more than that. They're giving themselves pay rises. They've given themselves $10,000 extra for going through the coronavirus, and that's just the way the world is, guys. It's not a conspiracy. It's there. It's there every day. Before this virus came about, it was there, and they all got some sort of hidden agenda, and they all throw weird parties.
Well,
and
do you think that, you know, I don't think I don't think like the people in the Welsh Assembly are involved in this on like the top tier, or even the people in Westminster. You know, I think, what do you think about the part where it says like who's orchestrating this is big business above any state, and then suggests there's a cabal? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if you have money to improve communities in Wales, right? And then you go and give an AM £9,000, right? But that would change a family's life, right? In the valleys. And you corrupt. And corruption, there's no sort of level to corruption. There's no sort of like, oh, you'll have a little, it's like, you know, I'll pinch a pen and that'll be the end of it. You know? Yeah. It's the same across the board. So yeah, big business has been poisoning us and ripping people off, like is Monsanto, you know, and you've had Coca-Cola is another famous one. They've been putting people in harm's way for years. Well, for years.
The head of Nestle is quoted as saying that water shouldn't be a human right.
You know, yeah, I think it's Greg's. I mean, I think he's the guy who runs Greg's. I won't be I'm wrong on this. Like, he's just been put in jail, haven't he, or something? It's crazy. You got to think, like, if you, right, it's crazy. It's a crazy concept. This might sound mad. I'm sorry if it does. But if you're godless, right, and you have nothing to aspire to be good for, right, in regardless of, like, religion, right? Yeah. And you think there's no God, and you have quite a bit of money and status, right? You'll join that circle where darkness and influence needs you, right? It wants to get its little claws in you. And regardless, the majority of mankind, and I say mankind because I mean man, this darkness that dwells in us, right? There's a darkness. It's in the back of our minds. It's part of our complexity, our structure.
It's yin and yang, isn't it? How can you know true love if you didn't know true hate or true fear?
Yeah, you look at the best spiritual people on earth who are here right now. You look at people like Russell Brand. You look at what he's gone through. He's been a sex addict. He's been a drug addict. You know, he's been there. Right, he's been down that dark road. There's lots of people who have gone through that because they luckily for them, the pull towards the pure was stronger than towards the neck. But that is only, as you look at the world, it's a very rare thing. Anybody that's ever tried to make peace on planet Earth, and I mean at the foothold to do so, it's dead. They've been either assassinated or they died under mysterious circumstances. So,
or they've been politically assassinated, as in the sense of put in a position where they can't do anything, or branded a nutter.
Yeah, that's always happened. Yeah, for anyone, right? It happened to Corbyn. It's just happened to Corbyn, right? So, what else do you need to know? You can chuck all the rest of it. You can chuck all the conspiracies out the door, because there's one that's right in front of your pips. And that's just basic psychology. If you listen to people like Jordan Peterson, you know, if you read psychology, if you look at friggin' Sigmund Freud, he was a weird guy, and he set the precedent for psychology. You know what I mean? He was like the founding father of that stuff, and he was a weird guy. There is this dark, and you can't, and it's not nothing mystical. It's not magical. It's not demons. It's just part of us. It's the 50-50. It's the decisions we make, and unfortunately, when you have money, you don't have to make so many positive decisions. You can take a dark road, and it will be hidden, and money will hide it from you. Point proven. Epstein. Yeah, that was hidden. That everybody knew about that. The CIA knew about it. The FBI knew about it. Presidents knew about it. Prime ministers knew about it. Hollywood were in it, and it was covered up for decades. So That's there it is. It's right in front of you. It's all the stories are there. You need to know that there's something wrong with the world. So that's it. I can't. I wish I could wave a magic wand and we all everything goes away and none of it's true. But it doesn't. That's never gonna happen. You've got to face it. You got to look at it and go, oh my god, that is horrific.
I do think,
and then move on.
I do think it's the combination between money and power as well, because you get people, just because someone's rich doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person. There are good rich people in the world. There are good rich.
Yeah.
It's the combination between money and power, I think, that actually draws some of these people in. And like I said, I'm no Trump supporter. I'm not, but like it says in that, Trump gone too far. I think there's just enough of humanity in Trump that maybe would have seen some of these things and went, no, we're not doing it that way. Even if it's just like sort of how minority communities and stuff. Like one of the things I'm sick of seeing is this: he won't denounce white supremacists. And there's like several clips on the internet of him denouncing white supremacists. And yet you've got Biden, who's basically giving speeches to the KKK, openly being racist. You can literally look these things up on the internet, and they're on YouTube. And there's, it is just, it's backwards. It's backwards. It is completely, and to the point now of ludicrousy. Like, don't get me wrong, Trump, yes, he is divisive. Yes, he is. But I just say to people, what I kind of like about the man is the fact he's authentic. He might be an authentic prick, but he's do you know what I'm trying to say? What you see is what you get. It's not, he's a prick. He's a prick I can deal with because I know he's a prick.
He doesn't hide the fact.
No, he doesn't. He does. He is self-absorbed. He is insecure, or at least he comes across that way. But he is. At the end of the day, he's not in this sort of political sort of circle or political sort of culture then, because that's the other way of organising it, is the culture surrounding it.
Well, if you're watching this, do your own research. Have a look at the things. Have a look at all the rich people, right? Have a look at the likes of the best of humanity. They've never really made much money, like for example Tesla, right, or Gandhi, and you'll find faults in them people. But then have a look at the really super rich people, right, and you'll find this. They've done this, they've done charity, right, and they've done this and they've done that. But there's always something else they've done, and I feel that's like to balance things out myself.
Yeah, it's that neutral.
I've always felt that. Yeah. Trying to invoke karma, and this is the message we've been getting. And it's not like it's come out of the blue. It's not like they've said, the world's not what it seems, and we've gone, no way.
Yeah.
What did the world's not what it seems? The world's not what it seems, man. For Christ's sake. None of it.
It's like that part about the cabal. It was like, I probably, in my entire history of doing the paranormal, I'm actually less likely to believe that at the moment, because I could see there being cabals or cultures or different people that do manipulate world events. I could see there being a level of it, but I don't, and I see that being like a rod in the middle of the spider's web, but I believe that's simplifying it a bit too much. That's kind of the way my thinking has gone until recently, when I'm just seeing the way in which Boris has been reacting, the fact that Boris and Biden are basically copying each other's speeches. I am in the middle of a research project to look into anyone else that's using these sorts of language. The fact you've got the World Economic Forum coming out and saying some weird stuff. Again, we'll cover that in the next video now. But there's some really, really strange stuff going on. I thank you guys for joining us. This has been Now News. I'm Jared Walters, and he's Richard Oliver. Love and light.
Love and light, powder peeps.
Hi guys, it's Jared from Paranormal Now. I hope you like the channel and hope you like the content. If you do, check out some of the other videos on screen now and click the button below to subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you soon. Take care of yourselves.